TJ the Wheel Deal coming at you live. It is Monday. We've got November the 18th, 10:15 a.m. Central Time, Texas time, in the heart of deep South Texas. We're essentially basically in Mexico. This at one point probably used to be Mexico, right? So it was a deal back in the day where we kind of like borrowed the land from Mexico and kind of kept it. So that's how Texas got so big. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Appreciate all 56 of y'all that are tuned in from X. And we've got 7 people rocking with me live from YouTube. That number's a little light, so it tells me that Amit's probably still live. I was watching him earlier this morning. And they were, hypnotizing the screen, watching the fucking Palantir ticker. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, what's going on, Caro? What's going on, Dex? What up? Top Dasher, Brandon, Slim Futures, Bryson, Daniel, Michael Wilder, Kelby, Sam L. Amit just did word of the day. Right on. Right on. Mesmerized. That's the word of the day. Let's Google it. We're gonna let's do one for Amit. This is mesmerize. Definition. So this is going to be the word of the day here. So this is going to be the word of the day. Mesmerized. Hold the attention of someone to the exclusion of all else or so as to transfix them. Amit and the chat were mesmerized by the Palantir price action today. Palantir could go down too. Oh my goodness. Anyway, having a little fun with the Met because y'all know I got nothing but love for our boy. But anyway, they were mesmerized by the Palantir price action today. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. We're going to do quote of the day time. So let me try to do these timestamps here. I haven't done them in a while. So we'll go 3 minutes quote of the day. It's going to be a short week for us, guys, because we are going to Dallas, Texas, because we are going to go tour the Riot facilities, baby. We are absolutely excited. Jason Les sent me an email this morning. It felt like it was directed more to my wife, like, wear closed-toe shoes and that kind of shit. Because, of course, it kind of like a work in progress. So essentially, my wife doesn't need to be going over there wearing her, what are those hoochie shoes called? The what are they called? They're like on little mini stilts. wedges. And don't be wearing wedges. You gotta wear like tennis shoes or something because we're essentially going to a construction outfit. So anyway, let's get into it, guys. We're going to do quote of the day. This one's going to be a good one, guys. This one's going to be a good one. So here it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby. You can have results or excuses, not both. Guys, you're going to have to pick a side. You can have results or excuses, but not both. You can get better or you can stay bitter. Very hard to do both. That quote hopefully can help you guys out. Hopefully it's speaking to a handful of y'all today. When I came across it this morning, I was like, there's so many times in life that I find myself trying to achieve something, but I'm stuck in my own head, making all of these excuses, etc. And these shirts are so cheap. This little collar doesn't even stay right. And man, it's just, you gotta pick a side. You gotta decide. You can make excuses, or you can go have success, create results, but you can't do both. You can either get better, or you can stay bitter, but you can't do both. You're gonna have to pick a side. I always say, getting rich is hard. Being poor is hard. You're gonna have to pick your heart. You're going to have to pick your heart, because I've been both. And you know what? Rich every time. Every time. It's right over there. Number 5. Y'all see it in the map? I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man. I choose rich every time. That is my favorite. That is my favorite because I've lived that life. Both of those. Living the rich one now. A lot more fun. A lot more fun. All stressed out. Oh my God, how are you going to pay the rent? Oh my God, how are you going to pay the car? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's hard. It's hard not having any money or enough money where at the end of the month, there's a lot more month than money. That's hard life. But it's also hard trying to figure out, okay, what could I do to make more money? There's only so many hours in the day. This is my pay grade, etc. What could I do? That's also hard. So guys, either one's going to be hard. So you might as well pick your hard. To me, I'd rather figure out how to make a lot more money because the reward at the end is going to be a lot more fulfilling, in my opinion. And I've lived that life. So let's get into it. Portfolio update time. This is going to be the 6-minute, 30-minute mark, we'll call it. So we'll go from there, 6-minute portfolio update. And this is going to be a very abbreviated portfolio update, guys, so that I can spend adequate time doing live Q&A and telling y'all about what we're looking for on this Riot trip. This wasn't just an excuse to go stay at a fancy hotel in Dallas or anything like that. Like, we're going there with a mission, and we want to make sure that we come back with the information that we're seeking. So there's that. So let's get into this one right here. Here we go. Portfolio updates holding up pretty decent today on a Monday. So what we are going to focus on today is just what's expiring by the end of this year. So we're going to say, what's in the money, what's out of the money, if we're okay for assignment or if we're looking to roll, if it's a cash grab, if it's a setup trade, if, hey, this is where we're willing to plant a flag, we're willing to take assignment. We're going to go through all of that stuff because that's the kind of stuff that we're going to drill on over and over and over again on the Wheelers Seminar number 2. So we're going to take one at a time. Palantir, $65 covered call. Definitely not going to let these shares get called away at $65. First of all, I don't even own these shares. These are against long calls that were bought. So definitely going to roll here if we need to. Right now, we don't have to do anything. We are printing a little bit. We're printing a little bit today because Palantir cooled off. So that's what's going on with that one. Then we got Celsius, cash secured put. This is a setup trade. I really, really like Celsius in that $23, $24 range. So I'm hoping that these get under fire a little bit so we can roll them. So that we can roll them to like $24 and then be like, hey, you know what? I'm willing to take the ownership of those shares at 24, ride them back up to like 30 and then get out of it. I don't give a shit if Celsius goes to 50, 60, 70. It'll do that without me. I just see an opportunity to make money here via like a swing trade, if you will, not trying to get long Celsius. So I'm very, very clear on the entry and I'm very, very clear on the exit on the front end. Very, very important, guys. This isn't a we'll figure it out as we go type thing. Hood, this is cash grab. I don't want to own any more shares of Hood unless I can do it in like the mid-20s. I don't know that Hood's going to give that to us, so this is just a cash grab. Excited that we got into it on 11/12. It expires on 12/13, Friday the 13th. Ooh, all that stuff. We got $5,900, and I'm going to try to get to like 70% profit before we close these out. Since cash secured puts that I'm excited about are getting harder and harder to find, I'm changing the strategy a little bit and I'm trying to milk as much as I can out of each contract. Normally, I'm already up 46%. I would just take the trade off. But because I don't really have anything else that I could put the money into that would for sure give me a lot more money than what's left on this table, I'm going to leave it on for now, unless as we're going through this exercise, something really jumps up off the page, then we could be like, hey, maybe I'll transition over. But as of right now, I don't see anything, so we're just going to rock with what we got. Intel 24, cash secured put. This is a setup trade. 22, I'd be like, hey, you know what? Let's just double the position on Intel. Have enough information at 22 bucks. I feel comfortable. It'll be a nice average down, but at 24, that's not the number. 22 is the number. NVIDIA earnings are going to help. There's some stuff going on with Blackwell and overheating. I'm not exactly sure. Shout out to our member, Sally. She's the one that got me up to speed on that one today. So I think that could potentially drag Intel down to like the $22 range. At that point, I would roll these $24 cash secured puts expiring on 12/13, kick the can down the road like a month, go to like 23, 22, and then at that point be like, okay, we're really willing to dig deep here with Intel. So that's what's going on with that one in a nutshell. Moving it along. PayPal $90 covered calls. Definitely will be rolling those. Right now, it's unnecessary. Things are looking bad, but in actuality, they're not because our strike price is 90. PayPal is at 86. We don't really have anything to do here except play a game called Hurry Up and Wait. And that's a real hard game to play for a lot of people because we feel like we got to push some buttons. Riot, $9 cash secured put, okay with assignment. $10 cash secured put, not okay with assignment. Set up trade, we would roll down, kick the can down the road to $9, and then be like, hey, let's get crazy with this position at $9. If the market would give us something in the eights, we would take that too. So that's what's going on with those Riot cash secured puts. The Intel covered calls, I'd probably be okay getting these shares called away, believe it or not, because I would love to get into a bigger cash position going into next year. And this would be a very profitable full circle wheel on Intel. And I'd be okay with that. And I'm more comfortable playing Intel via cash secured puts anyway versus owning the shares and selling covered calls. Here's another setup trade. SOXL at 27. You know, it wouldn't be the worst thing to just take ownership of these shares right here, but I would rather do so in like that $25 range because I don't really know that much about the CTF. It's a leverage play on the semiconductor space and stuff, so I'm just thinking cheaper is better. That's really what it comes down to. I've already rolled these on Friday. We went from 28 to 27. I like to do that all the way again to like 25 in that 25, 24 range. Be like, okay, let's take a calculated gamble. Let's dance. And then we try to ride those shares at $3 or $4, get rid of them, complete the revolution of the wheel. So we're doing a little bit more wheeling here than we have, previously, like to where I'm okay getting shares called away. Why? Because I'm learning not to get emotionally attached to these shares. If they're not part of the Fab Five, if you will, what's the Fab Five? SoFi, Riot, Tesla, Amazon, PayPal. It's kind of like whatever. The Intel, the hood, Palantir, that one's different. That one's different because it's the Fab One. You know what I'm saying? it's like it stands on its own little island. We are long and strong. These 4,000 shares. We're babysitting these $35 covered calls. At some point, I'll have to roll these to January of 2027, with these $45 covered calls. I'm sorry. I'll have to roll those January 2027. I feel like I don't have to do that right now. We're going to manage these $65 covered calls because I sold those against the $65 leaps that I bought over here. And that's what's going on with Palantir. Other featured stock of the day is going to be Tesla. There's a lot of good stuff going on with Tesla. I've considered selling some cash secured puts on Tesla, but then I've also realized that, hey, I've got a lot of money riding on TSLL, so there's not really anything that I need to do because of this cash secured put over here at 573. I have no idea why we're losing money on this one today. This is just mispricing of options. It's one of those things. The bid ask is ridiculous. We're killing it on this trade. We're absolutely killing it on this trade. So nothing there to worry about. Last position here is obviously going to be Riot because we're going to visit. We're going to go to Dallas tomorrow. The tour's on Wednesday. So what's going on? We got 110,000 shares at 761. It's currently trading at 1256. All of the shares are for sale at $20 for January of 2026. And then we've got all of these cash secured puts over here. So the way that we're playing this situation here is We're just going to play a game called wait and see over here with these covered calls. But all of our money is going to be made with cash secured puts over here. And I'm going to keep doing that and doing that and doing that indefinitely with Riot, as long as it's under $15 a share. After that, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to wait on these covered calls, and then we're going to see what happens. It is my hope that Riot just goes to the freaking moon, and I'm babysitting these covered calls for the next 3 to 5 years. That's kind of like a picture perfect scenario. At first, I was thinking I'm just going to try to like time it. I'm going to try to like just sell these shares. I'll buy some leaps and play that whole game. But the time to buy leaps on Riot was when it was in that $7 or $8 range. I'm not going to do it right here. So any pressure that I'm feeling with these covered calls over here, I'm going to eliminate a lot of that pressure by simply just making a lot of money along the way via cash secured puts, kind of like what we've been doing for the last few months. So that's what's going on with Riot in a nutshell, guys. I'm really hoping this thing goes to 20. That would be a $2 million position in the portfolio, and I'd feel really, really good about it. Anyway, so that is all of it in a nutshell, guys. Let me check in with you guys, and we'll do live Q&A. So we'll call it the 17-minute mark. 17-minute mark, and we'll do live Q&A. I've got a lot of FaceTimes lined up today. I think I've got like 5 or 6. So this is going to be a shorter live. I want to spend more time on the live Q&A because I'm not able to go live tomorrow, which normally I haven't been anyway. And then I don't even think there's going to be anything on Wednesday because we're going to be doing the tour, and I don't think I'll be home on time to do Wheeler. So I'll probably wind up going live on Thursday instead. And then obviously on a mids channel, more than likely on Friday. That's going to be a segment on nothing but the wheel tracker. So that's what's going on in a nutshell. Let me catch up with you guys. Right here. I'm interested. Word of the day, right on. Time to go heavy on in-phase cash secured puts. I sold in-phase at a loss. So I'm still on a probation. Can't do anything with that stock for like 25, 26 days. So I'm not going to do it. Not even going to look. Not even going to look because it's going to tempt me. It's going to create emotions that I can't do shit about. I can't do anything. I'm on probation because I don't want to create what's called a wash sell. It's whenever you sell an underlying and you try to buy back in within 30 days, you lose the tax benefit of selling at a loss. So I took a loss on in-phase, and I want to make sure that loss legit comes off the top line, if you will, of all the money made in the portfolio. So it helps out with taxes. What's going on, AC Invest? What's going on, Zavan? What's going on, Invest Knowledge? TJ was researching Boeing, and you are right. Next year, third and fourth quarter, should see the stock close to 200. I'm thinking so. That is something that I'm looking forward to looking at here in a second. I was thinking about picking up 1,000 shares and starting a position on Boeing. I've been listening to some interviews with the CEO, and I think that he might be the guy. We'll see. He worked at Texas Instruments, and then he worked at another company like Roswell or something like that. He did that for like 3 decades. So we'll see. We'll see. And he was like, "Hey, we gotta change the culture here. We can't just look at a poster on the wall and be like, that's our culture. We gotta fix everything." And I like that they acknowledge that things are definitely broken and they need to figure it out. Slow it down, do it right, and then ramp it up. TJ, what's up, TJ? I love your cash secured puts 101 video. Right on. That was just an excerpt from the Wheeler seminar. Appreciate you guys. What's going on, Joe? Oh, now we're cracking. Now we're cranking, guys. We got 609 people, 466, 469 from X, 147 Rocco and me live. Y'all do me a favor and smash that like button. Appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1,000 views and 100 likes. That's kind of like the gold standard on the channel now. I don't go live as much, so I am kind of bug y'all a little bit and be like, hey, push the like and stuff. That way we stay a little bit relevant in the algorithm. Appreciate you guys. Morning, my supplier and marriage counselor Hims is up. Right on. 13%. That is legit. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, admit, man, he is just he's got so much energy and stamina to do this. Crazy. It's absolutely crazy. how much he's able to go live like that. It's just, to be young again, to be young again. What's going on, Dylan? Nike and In-Face Cassicker puts. I definitely look at Nike. I can't look at In-Face. I'm on probation, Mr. Premium. But I definitely Nike. Was it Bill Ackman? I believe is the one that's buying the crap out of Nike. Target earnings Wednesday is a cash grab, right on. Dylan in the house. Jill O, Midwest. How are you guys? All I trade is leveraged ETFs, right on. What's going on, Rensing? Cash grab idea from Jason from Paper Games. TA guy. Yeah, I know who Jason is. Square. They hold a lot of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Interesting. Let's look at it. I mean, it's there. The opportunity's there. Square SQ is the ticker. I think it's called Block now, though. Yeah, here we go. Is this company profitable yet? Because I was in this thing a long time ago. I'm not sure if it was in this one. No, it wasn't on this one. It was in my wife's portfolio. But then I chose PayPal because PayPal was profitable. Because Dallas Matthew was the one that was in this play. So 52-week high is 90. 52-week low is 55. So we're approaching the 52-week high. This is always where I start, guys. I look at the stock price, and I'm like, okay, cool. What's the 52-week low? What's the 52-week high? That's just always my starting point, guys. Always my starting point. So there's that. So we're in the high end. So that's no bueno right there. But that means there's usually a reason why a stock is low. There's usually a reason why the stock is high. So we'd have to start digging. But the one thing that we can do is let's just look at the chart real quickly before we do any work. Let's take this guy off. Or let's take the Bollinger Band off. Where's the Bollinger Band? Let's take that off. So all we have is a share price. So let's look at the share price real quickly. We've got the 1 week. It's matriculating pretty good. It was at 77. Now it's at 88. Holy cow. For the last month, this thing has gone parabolic over here. It was at 71. And now it's at 88 and some change for the last 3 months. I mean, this thing's just going up and to the right, guys. I mean, look at this thing. It was at $66. It was at $61 not too long ago. You know what I mean? Not too long ago. September the 6th. So keep that in mind. Year to date, looks like it started out the year 72. Yeah, so it's up $12 for the year. So it looks like it went all the way up to 85 early on in March. Kind of like a little double top action, if you will, almost a triple top. And then it started working its way down, found its footing, it went up, crashed hard again to 57. This would have been the opportunity. Well, this was August the 5th. This is when shit hit the fan, right? So, and then it's been working its way up ever since, guys, in a real big way. That's interesting. So now let's look at different time frames. I always like to start at the month. And then now let's throw the Bollinger Bands on there and see if it's probably at the higher end of the Bollinger Band. That stands to reason. It's on an uptick. So here's the high, the mid, the low. So if you own these shares, this is probably a good time to maybe sell some covered calls. You want to sell your covered calls above the upper end, the upper band of the Bollinger Band. Let's look at the 1 week. It's a little muffled. It's hard to say, but it's still at the upper end of the Bollinger Band. Let's look at the 1 day. This is a little clear. It's right in the middle, just right above the middle band of the Bollinger Band. Let's look at the 3 month. It's right at the upper end. So this thing's extended. Year to date, same. It's at the upper end of the Bollinger Band. If you look at the RSI, another nice little indicator on the year to date. It is definitely in the overbought territory. Overbought on the 3 months, just about overbought. I mean, it's approaching overbought anyway. On the 1 month, it is overbought or close to it. On the 1 week, I'm looking at the RSIs here on the bottom, and it is pretty neutral on the 1 day. So that's what's going on with Square on the technicals. So now let's just go look at the options, see if there's anything there. So we could just do something like 30 days out, and we can do maybe like a 20 delta or something, which would probably put us closer to that lower end of that Bollinger Band. There's no interest over there. This is that 25 delta. You see the volume here is just absolute caca. And that's the third week, I believe, because this would be the fourth week. Yes, there's no open interest. That's interesting. Let's see if we can find something else. Let's just go towards the end of the month, see if there's any interest. A little bit. There's not a lot of liquidity here. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get good fills or anything like that. It just means that this just isn't a very, very popular ticker for options. That's really all that it means. But your broker will work with you. They'll put it out there and they'll do their best to get you filled. It's just whenever there's more open interest and volume, the bid and the ask tend to be real tight. So you don't lose a lot of money to slippage. That's really the big thing. That's the reason that we're looking for a higher open interest and volume. This isn't horrible right here. This 11-day right here at 82, there's decent open interest and volume. Let me get a little closer to the money, and maybe there's more players over there. There's more people on the dance floor, perhaps. Let's look at 83. No, it's about the same. Let's look at 84. It's a little bit better, a little bit higher on the open interest. People that are playing it closer to the money. You see there's a little bit more crackheads there on Block Avenue at 368.75. But that's a 36 delta. That's hella aggressive. The 86. Yeah, there's not as many over here. And the 87, pretty much at the money, there's not as many. So interesting. I guess I'd have to go watch that segment and see what he has to say to kind of like help us out. But I didn't really see anything there on the technicals that makes me be like, oh my goodness. But I get it. I get from the whole, they hold the whole BTC. This is where, again, you look at the chart and it's hard to draw any conclusions. And then you look at the fundamentals, you can kind of like get an idea maybe for the long term, but then you still need the charts to kind of like help you with an entry and an exit. So I think they work best in conjunction. I don't think that you can just trade looking at, or, make these decisions just looking at a chart. And then it's real hard to decide, okay, if you have like a shorter term time horizon, it's very, very difficult without looking at the charts. If you're looking just to establish a position long term, then you probably don't even need to look at the charts. You just be like, I'm just going to DCA into this thing, and in 5-10 years, look up and see what happens. It just really depends on what your situation is. I'm Beneficial, Amit. Good morning, TJ and everyone. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Not bad, Maddie. I think I saw you on the schedule today. I might be talking to you later today. Midways looks like we switched to the same channel. That is too awesome. Hey, can anyone explain why Tasty Trade is asking for 6,000 buying power? Yeah, I don't understand how Tasty Trade works in that aspect. David Sala, how do we book a FaceTime with you? If you're a member, David, if you're a member at the $9.99 level, it's one FaceTime every 3 months. If you're a member at the $24.99 level, it's one FaceTime every 30 days. And if you're a member at the $99 level, it's essentially a FaceTime just about every week, every other week. And then it's daily texting as well, and then the WhatsApp group. That part's for everyone. That's for every level. The $9.99 and above. I don't do texting with the wheel tracker members. It's something that we've considered though, but I feel like I could get overwhelmed. I'd be more inclined to maybe open up the WhatsApp group to the folks that are doing the $3 membership level. I just got to ask the people on the WhatsApp. I think we have like 48 members in there now. So if they'd be okay with it, because we'd flood it with like another 200 members real quickly. So we'll see. But that's how that works, David. Can save recovery? I'm not even familiar. Your thoughts on SOTA open December the 27th, 1250 cash secure put on what ticker? On what ticker? Hey, what's going on, Dougie Dallas? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Just kind of hanging in here. Mel J, if I'm doing the wheel with the 250K before Lee, is it a good idea to pay myself half the premiums for income sustainable? You can do it with half the premiums captured. So if you collect 3-4% in premiums and you're capturing like 2%, you pay yourself half of that, and you'd still be able to grow the portfolio. Because if you collect, say, $10,000, $15,000 a month in premiums, and you pay all that money, but then you're like giving money back to close out those options, you're not really netting 10 or 15, but that's what you're paying yourself because that's what you collected. It's just a matter of time before you're going to lose money because your portfolio is going down every month. So you got to really understand your numbers and work it accordingly. MK going like wildfires amidst YouTube is like crazy. Yeah, no kidding. It is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Getting killed on hood covered calls, TJ. Let me look at ours. I can't even look at it. You see, I'm not mostly attached to it, so I don't look that much. So let's see what's going on with the hood. So hood's up, right? Oh yeah, it's up. Shit, that might be a 52-week high for all I know. So hood's up. So this part looks decent. It's not a huge position, but it's something. We're up 6 figures, nothing to sneeze at. There's 4 strategies. The cash collateral is 150,000. That's this right here. It's an agreement to buy more shares. Now those cash puts, what do? They take pressure off of the covered calls, because I'm like, well, I can't be winning. If I'm winning here, it stands to reason that I'm probably going to be losing over here. These are going to be under pressure. Right here, these covered calls, the 32s and 29s. But if this one gets challenged, then the relief's going to come off of here. The stress is going to come off of here. That's why I like the covered strangle so much. This is a version of the covered strangle. It's not like textbook because they don't have the same expiration dates, but it serves the same purpose. But then here, I've got my little button up wraparound strategy because I also bought 50 leaps. So the money that I could potentially be leaving on the table here, I'm going to be picking up a lot of that over here, because I bought these leaps on 11-1 already up a cool 114% or 39,000 there. So I could lock that win in there. And then I can look at the entire position and be like, am I even selling covered calls against these leaps right now? I don't think I am, because there's 10,000 shares and there's 100 covered calls. So that means I could actually sell covered calls against these right here and bring more money through the door, which would in turn take more pressure off of these covered calls for me. So I could milk some money over here on the new covered calls. I can milk all of the money that's left on this contract here, which is another 4,100, and that is going to help the situation when I have to go roll these right here, because I got these for January and February. So if I want to roll them right now, would be kind of an okay time to roll them. Not like an ideal time, but an okay time. But then it also comes down to, do I want to roll? Why do I want to roll? Like, why would I want to roll right now? Is it just because I don't want the pressure? Or is it I think that I'm going to lose the shares? Because if that's the idea, that I think I'm going to lose the shares, well, then I just got to do a game of math. I'm like, am I really going to lose the shares? I got to look at the extrinsic value. And I'm like, okay, well, there's only $2.72 of intrinsic value, but the options price is $5.10. So the rest of it's going to be extrinsic value. So that's the profit that the counterparty would sacrifice to own my shares right here, right now. I don't think they would. They're not financially incentivized to do so. So I don't think those 32 covered calls are at risk of early assignment. Let's look at the $29 covered calls. They got about 572 intrinsic value, and they got about $2.25 of extrinsic value. So I don't think that the person on the other side, the counterparty, is going to sacrifice that much money to take ownership of these shares right here at 29 bucks. So I feel like I don't have to do anything. If anything, the only thing that I could consider is selling some more covered calls against these leaps right here, or I could just bag the win. I could just lock in the win and be like, hey, paid 34.5 for these. I could just close these out for 74, lock in $39,000-$40,000 win, and now I've made money on Robinhood. And then I'll go babysit the covered calls and wipe your tears with your profit. So again, there's not a lot of emotion with those shares. So it makes it very, very easy to manage. Makes it very, very easy to manage. Which price do you think Palantir will correct and settle? 50. I see 50. I just feel like it has to happen. I think it would just be healthy for the stock. And it sucks for me because my long calls would get killed. My long calls would be getting killed. So I don't really want that to happen because I'm still long Palantir on the 4,000 shares and still long with the leaps that I bought that I feel like were overpriced, that I overpaid for. So I don't really want to lose money there. But do I think that 50 is in order? I do. I do think that 50 is in order, and I think that it should happen. Do I think that it will happen? I have no idea. But I think that it should happen. I think that it would be healthy for the stock. It could find a little base there and then work its way back up. And who knows, it probably goes to 100 for all I know. I mean, it's Palantir, man. It's a monster. Ahmed said he was tired after 90 minutes standing. No stamina. Crazy. SoFi. SoFi, what were you saying? Your thoughts on Soda Open? I think there's better places. George. I don't think it's a horrible play, but y'all see the portfolio. I haven't sold cash secured puts on SoFi in a minute. Why such a wide spread on who knows? It's just it's a liquidity thing. It's kind of whatever, like I could probably close them out if I wanted to right now, and I would just put the price that I'd be willing to close them out. And who knows, they fill. But that's the thing, that is really anything that I'm looking at anyway until probably January, February. That's when I really start looking at it a little bit more seriously. Yeah, agreed. I don't know enough. I don't know enough. B, I'm not that interested in. And I made a post on Twitter that I kind of just like stay in things that I'm interested in at the end of the day. Yeah, they're funny. Do you have an opinion on Archer? I think it's going to be awesome. I think that Archer, Joby, I think that those things are going to do very, very well. They'll probably make it back into the portfolio when I start swing trading again. But right now I have a lot of cash secured puts that I'm babysitting and stuff. So once those play out, I could definitely see me scooping up some more shares of Archer and Joby and trying to make another few $1,000s. It's a year or two away on these companies, man. They're all pre-revenue. Nice. Jason said as soon as it breaks the 93.2, it will potentially go to 100 and then 130. Interesting. Block is interesting, but I don't know. I can't get behind his BTC play. They barely have coins. So he's a power bottom. SoFi buy at 12. If you're planning on holding it for 2 or 3 years, I think you're okay buying it at 12. I would have already loaded the boat, though. I would have already loaded the boat personally. What did I do with Palantir? I trimmed the position. I took a huge profit. Got 4,000 shares that were long gone. Got covered calls on those at 45 for January 2026. And then I bought leaps, $65 leaps for January of 2027, I think. And then I sold cover calls against those leaps. So now I got cash flow going through the door again. And that's it. What the heck's a Bollinger Band? Got to Google it, man. TJ, I'm trying to unwind these Palantir 40 to combine small chunks back on these red days. Right on. It was easier for me to just take profits and then buy the leaps. It was just easier for me. And now I don't even think about it because I'm like so fixated on all the cash puts that I sold with Palantir money that are making me a lot more money than money that was just sitting there. So, and then I'm like, if it gives me an opportunity to buy all those shares again, I will. If not, I'm cool with it. Jason talked about it on Mid's episode last Tuesday. Looks like everyone did. Morning, TJ. At my first cover calls called away last Friday. Hood felt weird, but making money feels good. Right on. What happened? What happened if I am $1,000 member? Wait, I don't have $1,000 member. I have a $99 member. You're welcome, David. There's a join in the thing. I assume. I don't know. I don't even know how that works, honestly. Got $40 hood calls for January, February 20. Not worried because I closed some out proactively after earnings dip, but these ones I held are definitely fighting every day now. Yeah, I don't think you have anything to worry about right now until hood gets to $40, and then at that point, just roll them again and put a $45 price tag on there. Call it good. I feel like the blockchain for Ethereum is very, very useful, but I just don't know enough about that space to be honest with you. So I really can't speak on that intelligently at all. What is your over the past 3 years? Shoot. Well, this account, I've only had this account for 3 years. So there's that. So there it is right there. I mean, it tells you we're kind of down, doing a bunch of stupid stocks that weren't profitable and then figured it out. Went down with the market like everybody else, and then I've been working my way back up. This thing looks like a growth stock. So I don't know how much that tells you. Where are we at? Keeping it going. You still bullish on SoFi? Yeah, I'm totally bullish on the shares that I own and the leaps that I have. I'm not closing out the leaps, but I'm not selling any more cash secured puts because there's other stocks that give me more premium and a better entry point. Like I would rather have Riot at 9 than SoFi at 14. That's just, like again, I got my horses, right? So I got to look at what horse presents the best opportunity right here, right now. Do I think that SoFi is the better, safer play? Probably, but I also have plenty of exposure over there already. And then I'm also looking at, okay, I picked up, I exercised the leaps on Tesla. Now they're potentially talking about lowering or making it easier to get the FSD going. So maybe I need to go put more money over there. Like I said, there's always something else. There's always something else. New holding great earnings that didn't please the market could be an opportunity. Yes, I will never invest in Eubank because my wife, she commented, she paid a compliment to David, the CFO. They went to Stanford together. They were classmates at Stanford, and during college. And she was like, "Congratulations on all your success." This is all before she met me, right? So, fuck Nubank, never buying one fucking share of that company. I hope they go bankrupt. Just kidding. I don't hope any of that stuff, but I'll never buy Nubank. I just think SoFi is a better deal. Nubank's growing like crazy though. But I think SoFi is going to go to those markets and be able to grab some of that, and they offer a lot more, in my opinion. So I think that Nubank is having their day. Amazing company. They're extremely profitable. They're going hand over fist. But I think that we're going to have our moment in the sun. We just have to be patient. We just have to be patient. The people that got in on Nubank early, they made a shitload of money, and I think there's still a lot more money to be made. I just have enough exposure to that sector. Like, forget about the David Velez jokes. Forget about that. Like, I got PayPal, I got SoFi, I got Riot. That's a lot of financial companies, if you will. So I just feel like there really isn't a need for that anymore, if that makes sense. And there's Robinhood as well, So I mean, there's just too much already. Any NVIDIA play for this week? I hope it tanks. I hope it tanks to the 120s, and then I'd definitely be interested again. TJ, follow. Excuse me. Following your strategy since April, I made $3,000 in options. Right on. Riot, Hims, Hood pays good. Yeah, for sure they do. Thank you for every day with the channel. Kudos, many blessings. Appreciate you, my man. Are the miners still a good play for wheeling at these prices? Some of them are. Some of them aren't. Y'all are probably laughing at the whole NU thing. SoFi Hood is greater than you, in my opinion. Dude, Newbank's amazing. Newbank is absolutely amazing, and they are crushing it. I'm just Team SoFi, I'm just Team SoFi. And Hood's just a trade. It's not even an investment yet. It's graduating towards an investment, but it isn't one right now. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, they absolutely are. There is no doubt about it. Right on. Make sure you're in it because of you, though, man. Because if anything goes south, you need to do that homework and make sure that you're like, hey, this is an opportunity. Not like, oh my God, what did I get into? So just make sure, because my conviction is never going to be your convictions. You can't borrow conviction in the stock market. Oh gosh, about $750,000 or so. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, I think that pretty much wraps everything up. What I want to do now is I want to do another segment that I haven't been doing with regularity because I've just been a little disorganized on the channel. Oh, and I'm going to be working on seminar part 2 this week. I don't know if I'll be able to be ready by Saturday, but maybe by the following Saturday. And then we got another vacation coming up. We're going to San Diego, I think on the 15th again, to La Jolla again with the whole family this time. So that'd be cool. So anyway, here's another segment that I introduced a few weeks ago. So we're going to get back to it today. So let me see the mesmerized definition here. That's funny. So here it is right here, guys. Here it is right here. It's a biblical scripture of the day. And it says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. The reason I wanted to use that one today is because my buddy Joshua T got his ring. He did this ring ceremony for college yesterday. So he's officially going to become a graduate at Texas A&M University in Kingsville. So just kind of like a shout out to him. He's saved under my phone on my phone as Joshua 24:15. As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. So anyway, I'm really excited for him that he stuck with it. He's almost 50, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to go back, get my college degree. Life's been good for him, but maybe now this is going to be the thing that makes it great for him. And, it's whatever he needed, because there was a void there. There was a void there for him. And he filled that void by getting his college degree. So big ups, big kudos to my boy, Joshua, for doing that. I thought about doing that too, because I feel like I left some food on the table in my college years, but I just don't have it in me because college didn't teach me anything very useful. So I'm like, I'm not going to go give them any more of my time, any more of my money. I'm more interested in learning things from the finance world, now studying the Series 65 and that kind of thing. So we'll see. But I was waiting to see if another email came through, but it didn't come through. And it's from that company SMB. They were trying to recruit me again. I just don't think that they know who I am per se. So I messaged them back and I'm like, hey, I'm TJ the Wheel Deal on YouTube and so on and so forth. But I don't see whether or not they responded. I wanted to kind of, well, let me see if there's a way. Hold on. I want to see if there's a way that I could show that email. Give me a second. So it's this one here. Here we go. So this is it right here. So they sent me this email. Hi, Javier. You've probably been through a lot in your trading journey. You've likely put in tons of hours of learning strategy, studying charts, practicing entry and exit techniques, and trying to tweak things over and over to finally become consistently profitable. And if you haven't achieved that profitability yet, it can feel like an overwhelming and exhausting task to continue pushing on in hopes of finally making it. But what if there was a simpler and far more efficient way to break through? What if there was one single change that you can make which can help solve most of your key trading problems all at once? I know it may sound too good to be true, but we're not talking theory. This one single change has increased the profitability of our in-house traders immensely. We're talking real results. Woo! But wait, there's more that we've seen over the last couple of years from our traders. And now we're ready to share it with the trading community. Well, I'm sharing it for you guys. So if you want to discover what this surprising change is and how you can implement it into your trading, check out this new video presentation now. Tap here. It's like a 4-minute video. And then I put here, I use my Wine Tours one, not the TJ the Wheel Deal. This is my Wine Tours 777 Wine Tours at Gmail account. Hi, I'm TJ the Wheel Deal on YouTube. I have an 8-figure account that I trade live 2 to 3 times per week. Check it out if you like. We can talk. I'm making lots of money selling puts and calls, but I'm always open to make more. Boom. They haven't responded yet. So anyway, they probably watched the channel or had somebody watch the channel. They're like, oh shit. So I wonder what the one thing is. I was thinking about watching the video. It's like 4 minutes. Maybe I'll do it on 2 times. So I'll watch it, and if there's anything there, I'll shoot it over to you guys. Maybe there's something there for one of you guys. I highly doubt they'll be hiring me, right? But I'm just saying, maybe who knows? Maybe they have an opportunity for one of you guys if y'all are interested in becoming a funded trader. I've done that. I've done that before with the company. They gave me up to $1 million, and it worked out very well for me. So that was part of my head start into this thing. But I had to like prove myself to them. And it was real hard because I'd make all this money and then they'd pay me my cut. But then they always wanted to like lecture me and stuff. And I was like, dude, I don't even need to trade your money. I'll just trade my own. And they wanted me to go to all these meetings and all this shit. And I was like, dude, I just can't do it. It felt like a job. It felt like a job. So anyway, yeah, it was, that's actually like the third one that they've sent me. That's actually like the third one that they've sent me. There's another company out there called Maverick. They'll do it. They'll do it for you, but you gotta prove your worth, man. You gotta prove your worth. Anyway, guys, I gotta get rocking and rolling. This is TJ the Wheel Deal signing off. As always, may your sky stay blue, stock green. Peace out. God bless you guys. I'll come at you guys again on Thursday. If I'm able to go live at all from Dallas, I'll do that. Hopefully I can get permission from Jason and company. Maybe we can even, I'll reach out to them on Riot. Go on Riot on X. Follow Riot on X and be like, hey, do an interview with TJ the Wheel Deal. There's enough people out there that do that. Maybe we get a little 5-10 minute interview with him and we'll put it on the channel for you guys. Anyway, hit like, subscribe, all that stuff, and appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we'll see y'all soon. As always, guys, stay blue, stock green.